Alrighty, everybody, let's talk a little bit about what feels like it's a little bit of a forgotten show in the future of the MCU. Let's talk about Vision and Vision Quest. And honestly, and I think now we can officially maybe say that it's called Vision Quest because we recently saw that in some, I think it was rap merch, that there is somebody wearing something, maybe, so who knows if it's official or not, but somebody wearing something that said Vision Quest on it. So we're going to call it Vision Quest for now. Anyways, I feel like, ever since the MCU decided to pivot a little bit away from the shows and decided to really refocus its efforts on Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars and Spider-Man Brand New Day, the upcoming shows that are already in production have gone a little bit by the wayside. But it's still, I feel like these shows, being Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and Vision Quest, have really also undergone the transformational remapping and new strategy of Marvel Studios to really put an emphasis on the quality of the shows, getting showrunners, and making sure that these shows are the highest quality that they can be. So I'm very excited for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. We haven't talked a whole lot about Vision Quest because it's just quietly come and gone. I feel like for most of these shows, you would have heard something like, Paul Bettany gives an interview where he talks about the Vision makeup and getting back into the costume again. There's been almost nothing about Vision Quest ever since they've started filming. It's been so under wraps. It's been held so quietly that it's, I don't know. I feel like we've heard nothing about it. But recently, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany were together at Los Angeles Comic Con 2025. Is this a precursor, first of all, to them both returning for Avengers Doomsday? Maybe not. I would say not. It's probably just a fun thing that they did. And there were some fun tidbits in there. Elizabeth Olsen said she had no idea Marvel Zombies actually even came out, and she recorded everything during COVID, at her home in a closet or something like that. So that's something where Marvel Zombies, I guess, was finished. It recorded like 5 years ago, so there's that. Anyways, they got on stage at Comic-Con. Elizabeth Olsen obviously was very cagey about her future as Wanda Maximoff, but while Paul Bettany didn't give a lot of detail about Vision Quest, he actually had some things to say, and I think that these things are quite encouraging and quite intriguing. So first of all, in talking about what the show is actually about, this is what he had to say. He said, quote, "Vision Quest is sort of about intergenerational trauma. It's about fathers and sons and denial of pain and the denial of your own truth and coming to terms with who and what you are and what you could be. I guess Wanda and Vision's lane in the Marvel Universe is that you are the person you think you are despite what anyone else might say." That's super interesting. That is really deep and quite profound. He said also, I'm reading from an article, he says, comparing his own MCU experience to his own life, Bettany further said the Vision Quest has, quote, big questions to ask yourself about what it is to be a father and what it is to be a son. And those are, of course, questions I ask myself as a father of 3 children. And of course, he's married to Jennifer Connelly, who is the voice of, was it Karen? I think Karen, one of the AIs, who might be coming to Vision Quest. In the show, because all the AI seem to be coming to life. So that's interesting. We're going to dive into that in just a second here, because you can kind of read into some things here about what Vision Quest might be about. But he also said, with regards to its connections to WandaVision, when asked, is it a direct sequel to WandaVision? He said no. But he said it is, quote, absolutely rightly part of the trilogy, referring to WandaVision and Agatha all along, which we heard before. I don't know if it was Catherine Hahn or someone else who said that there's a trilogy. I think Brad Winterbaum said this as well, a trilogy of WandaVision, Agatha all along, and Vision Quest. And I think that that's super interesting as well. So these 2 quotes, the latter one I think is just more of an interesting nugget of, again, it might hint towards the fact that we talked about a while ago. And if I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Rorid Malika is playing a character whose name starts with a T, and I forget what the official name of the character is. But we're all assuming it's Tommy Maximoff. Even he and Joe Locke were seen taking pictures together. We're all assuming that it's, as soon as Agatha all along confirmed the fact that Billy Maximoff was reincarnated in this new form played by Joe Locke, we all assume that the character who Rorid Malika is playing is going to be Tommy Maximoff. And it's interesting, right? Because now Vision is saying, Paul Bettany is saying that this show is going to be about intergenerational trauma. So think about this, right? In a very weird, odd, twisted way, you have 3 generations of this messed up family, that messed up in facetious terms, but it's just a weird, strange family, because Ultron is coming back. Ultron, voiced by and played by James Spader, is coming back. Ultron in reality, I'm not gonna say Ultron is Vision's father because Jarvis was there before Ultron, so it's this weird cyclical loop that's going on here. But yeah, I mean, Ultron's vision was, well, I mean, Vision. That's why they called it Vision. Ultron's vision was to create Vision. I realized how weird that sounds, but you know, he wanted to create the Vision, just wanted it to be himself, right? But you know, in creating Vision, he sort of was Vision's father in a weird way, and I'm not sure if the show's going to play with that. And then, you know, in the Wanda's Hex reality, Vision is Tommy's father, and so I think it's I would think now that this leads some more credence to the fact that that kid, or the actor Rowan Malika, is playing Tommy Maximoff, and we're going to explore some very interesting dynamics between those characters. And also, obviously, Paul Bettany talking about the fact that Vision Quest is about, you know, people figuring out who they are and what they are in the world. Obviously, that plays into the fact that this is going to be the White Vision, the Vision who has the memories of the old Vision implanted in him, so is trying to figure out who exactly he is. He's made of the literal parts of the real Vision, but is not, in fact, the Vision that really shares the memories, or he shares the memories, but not shares the lived experience of the Hex Vision. So I think that that's all super interesting, and we'll see. We'll see what that is. I feel like this is going to be a show. I mean, it's called Vision Quest, right? It's the quest to figure out who Vision is. And, you know, at the end of it, he's going to realize that, no, I have the memories of Vision. I am the Vision, you know? I think he says that at the end of WandaVision before he flies away. So anyways, I think all this is super interesting, super fascinating stuff. I love, by the way, when shows about crazy things, you know, can dive into super deep and relevant topics. And I love how WandaVision did that with grief, and other shows can do that as well in the MCU and movies as well. Black Panther Wakanda Forever also about grief. So I'm very excited about Vision Quest, honestly. I don't know when it's coming out, probably late summer 2026 is my guess, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what Vision Quest is actually going to be about story-wise. So guys, what do you think about these new plot details that Paul Bettany is giving about the show Vision Quest? Are you excited about it, or maybe not as excited about it? Let me know in the comments down below.